And hello, welcome to Past Remote, the TV show podcast here on CBC. I'm, of course, Joe. Across the internet is Mitch. Find us on Twitter at HalftimeJoe and at Mitch692. I don't know where else you can find Mitch. I feel like he's out there in the internet, but I mostly know him on Twitter. You can find me anywhere, just at HalftimeJoe. But no news. Really, we wanted to talk about the shows mostly, so that's why there's no news, but also just no news. It was just kind of the only thing I recall, and it was actually more than a week old, and we usually don't talk about stuff more than a week old, was the Secret Six stuff, so that's out there, and there's barely anything about that.
The only thing I know that's come out this week is that Bane picture from Forgotten today.
Oh, yeah. I saw that too, and I was just like, do we really want to talk about Gotham? Nah, not really.
No.
Yeah,
just remember, it's been 21 and a half years since you've had the most comic accurate Bane on screen. Let's just remember that. Bane has never...
Oh, there was... Yeah, I forgot. Old Bane. Yeah, old Bane. Yeah. Alright, yeah, so with that, we're really just going to be talking about Titan Season 1 and Daredevil Season 3. So...
episode 1 and 2 of Titans.
Okay, yeah, since we didn't get to talk about episode 1, really. So
I know you get confused because this show is made to be binged, clearly, but...
No, I just got confused because I wrote episode 2 and then I didn't realize he wrote episode 1 as well on the thing.
I figured we didn't do it last
time.
Sure,
I mean, why not? The more the merrier, right? Because I don't know if we're really going to go on for Daredevil for 50 minutes. So it's we can see how long we go with Titans. So let's just get into it. Titans Season 1, episode 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, actually, before we actually get into it, the news is that Iron Fist and Luke Cage are cancelled.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's actually a good point. No, it's
also, if you're hearing this, kind of like the timestamp isn't going to be associated with what I just said. It's going to be associated right now. So I guess we're getting that out of the way. So yeah, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, that's cancelled. Punisher, Jessica Jones, Daredevil, that's still on there. I think that they finished filming probably Punisher season 2. Okay, and then season 3 Jessica Jones sometime soon. Timestamps. If you are listening or watching on YouTube or listening on SoundCloud, check the descriptions. You know, there's gonna be timestamps. YouTube, you can just click it to talk about either season 3 Daredevil or Titans. And for SoundCloud or any podcasting service, you just kind of have to scroll through it. That's just how it is. You can't be that interactive yet with the podcast services. One day we could be on Spotify. One day. Hopefully. We're going to have to figure that out. Any more news before we kind of kick into it?
No. It's a weird situation for Netflix.
The CW stuff,
CW stuff?
No. I will be getting into later on. I kind of want to get all the first episodes out of the way, so that includes Legends. And then I kind of like do like a 10-minute spiel on like Arrow, Supergirl, and all them on Legends, and eventually, because I actually am getting back into it. I just love how wacky it is. But with that said, if you don't have anything more, we are gonna get into Titans Season 1, Episode 1 and 2. Let's see. So. Now, I know for a fact you don't like the show. I like it. I don't love it. But I can see what they're going for. But it's just... It's missing on certain parts. Especially the first...
Especially the plot.
I mean, it's super slow. It's super slow. And it's kind of... It's going out of its way. Especially when you go into episode 2. To do other stuff besides tell the story. You know, it goes out of its way to introduce characters when it's like, maybe we should be learning more about Raven?
I mean, she's just a plot device at this point.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, we could be learning more about her, right? And maybe they should have chose a better actress. I say maybe, as they probably should have.
I mean, they should have.
So what did you... So, kind of like an overall thing real quick. What do you think about the actor so far? We've only had a little bit of, like, Starfire and Beast Boy, but we've had Raven and, Robin so far. And I actually like the guy who plays Robin. I think he's good.
I think Robin is... The guy who plays Grayson is probably the better actor on here. Yeah. He feels like he's actually trying a little bit.
As opposed to just those four, because when you talk about like Minka Kelly and Alan Richardson, like I thought they did pretty great. You know,
Are they Hawk and Dove?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Dove annoyed me.
Really?
And it's the way she talks.
That's just Minka Kelly.
She does that little whisper bit.
Yeah, that's just Minka Kelly.
I know, but it's
that's just kind of like her, and she does.
I'm like, can we actually just talk properly? Like everyone else is shouting at each other and fighting, and she's just like, yeah.
Yeah, I agree that the guy who plays Grayson is probably the better actor, and seems like he is trying more. At the same time, when it comes down to it, you know, I don't know if you could do the whole like cross devil stuff without being a little bit too cheesy, because especially in episode 2, you start to see the cheese, you know, and oh man, in episode 1 when like they first kill her like mom, I thought that was like super, like the guy who did the killing, I thought he was like super cheesy. I don't know if it was just me. Like it's a weird thing where it's both like super like dark, but it's also cheesy. It's like a dark comedy at times.
I don't think it's supposed to be a comedy in any shape. It might be intentionally.
Well, no, because like in episode 2, when like Hawk is like doing like saying stuff, I thought everything he said was almost like comedy, you know, and I think it was meant to be of that. He even like
I don't think it was.
Yeah, because he even says like when the very first like scene we see him, he's strung up or whatever, and he's like just making jokes. He's like, "Hey, what do you do? So you come here often?" Like that kind of stuff. Like that was funny.
Remember that bit.
Yeah, like of course it's Tyler Rich. This dude is like makes a living out of making serious situations like not as serious, because he just jokes about it, like he quips about it. That dude is just so good at it, and I thought he did great here. But okay, I mean, I guess going back to, I don't know, it's hard to talk about Starfire and Beast Boy when we barely had so much. We had like 10 minutes of Starfire and like a minute of Beast Boy, so I'm not really gonna get into too much with them because we haven't seen them
question
much.
About Beast Boy. Where did he hide that Xbox game?
What do you mean?
Well, you see him take it, and he runs off as a tiger, and then he lays down for whatever reason. Maybe he can't control the animal side of things yet.
I'm gonna assume he can't control it. Yeah.
And then when he gets into the forest, there's nothing in his mouth. He's a tiger at that point.
I don't even know what you're really talking about, so I have to go back and watch
it. There's one Beast Boy scene.
Yeah, just one people. I know, but I don't know like the game. Like, you know, like I have to go back and look at it because
he picks it, like he steals a game. Like that's the start of his scene, and then he's in the forest.
Yeah, I remember that.
Or wherever, and there's no game, and then he just pulls it out. It's like, well, where did he hide it? I know it's only a tiny little thing, but it really distracted me.
I have to go back and look at it because I mean I know what the scene you're talking about, but I just don't like. I don't know. Like I can tell you right now, I've only seen it once, so I have to. And
he just stood out because like, where the hell did he pull that from?
I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, but you know, I might probably just wait and rewatch it as soon as the last episode drops, or like a week before or whatever. So far what we know, I mean, like I said, they kind of are taking detours when it comes to the plot, and it's
the plot hasn't started yet. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, I
don't know anything.
I guess with the thing would be, we kind of the plot hasn't really started, but the thing I've learned so far is that Raven, you know, she is this demonic creature, and there are people out there like this. What did Grayson say? It was kind of like this weird cult that knew the end of the world is coming, and something like that, and they're searching for them, and they're searching for her, and that she's just trying to protect her from the end of the world. And I mean, something like that. I felt like maybe there should been like a weird nightmare scene with Raven saying that her dad is coming, and that's kind of the plot. They have to stop her dad from coming to this world.
Like at this point, they probably should kind of actually introduce us to who the antagonists are.
Yeah, because it's weird because we don't know. Yeah,
like sure, you can take a guess that it's her dad. Like, I think that's kind of obvious if you know the comics, but if you don't, then it's like, who is this weird guy in a suit that goes to this weird suburban.
I know this is a weird thing to say, and I know you're gonna laugh or something like that, but I'm kind of comparing it in a way to Daredevil because to me it very much is trying to be that. It isn't, but
it is
yeah.
100. It might surprise you, but it is trying to be like
yeah.
Daredevil.
So I'm comparing it to that in a sense, and I forget when they introduce Kingpin in episode 2 or 3. I don't remember.
I think he was in episode 1 of season 1.
It might have been like the last like scene or something like that. Let me check.
Yeah.
Let me check.
But that's a major problem for this show. It's so obviously made to be binged. It's not a week-to-week thing.
Well, and I always
like
said
the whole
binge
structure
thing was kind of the best thing.
Like the whole structure of the show isn't a week-to-week. It is like, oh, here's there's no real cliffhanger like a week-to-week show has. It's just it feels like it's supposed to merge all into each other. And it's not.
I remember you gave the argument that it should be week-to-week, mostly because you think that there should be something for people to watch, and if you just have it on there all at once, like people are just gonna use the 7-day trial and not go get it again.
It wasn't that I think it should be week to week. It's like I understand why they've made it week to week because it is their first show. They've only just launched. There's apparent numbers out there for the subs they have, but it's I understand that they don't want to just throw everything out at once and then no one's got anything to watch for several months. But if you're going to do that, make your show with the structure of a week-to-week thing, not a binge like this is.
So, I'm looking at Daredevil Season 1, and I think the first time they actually show Kingpin is Episode 3, but they have his voice in Episode 1. So, that's where I'm thinking, like, they could have had Trigon's voice in Episode 1.
Yeah.
And at least at the end or something like that, I'm coming for you, or something like, Yeah.
They're clearly setting things up. And like that's what the first 2-3 is going to be, but they're not setting up everything. We didn't need Hawk and Dove in this. You could have had the villains be this, or you could have had What they should have done with this was have Beast Boy in there, but they kind of forgot Beast Boy exists.
See I'm sure they didn't forget.
Oh no, I know they didn't literally go. Oh, we have a character. Oh shit, we forgot him in this episode. Like, I'm just saying, it feels like they forgot that he actually. He was the stinger at the end of episode 1, so we should have had more Beast Boy in this.
I thought it would alternate. I thought it would go Grayson, Raven, episode 1, Starfire, Beast Boy, episode 2, Grayson, Raven, episode 3, Starfire, Raven, episode 4, episode 5, they meet. They all meet, and then they're all together. I thought it would alternate for, like, the first 4 episodes. Clearly, it's not that.
No.
But I mean, I remember like when I was watching the first episode, I was so confused by the Starfire thing. You said it wasn't that confusing. I went back and actually read, and you said I was confused. I was like, "What is happening?" I don't really get it.
I mean, she's got amnesia. That's it.
But like, it's one of those weird things. So did she like come from her planet to find Raven, and then she got amnesia? Like, why would she come from her planet to find Raven?
They've said they're going to explore. Is it Temerian? Is that what they're called? Yeah. Like, they said they're going to explore that. There's some theories. I mean,
I've seen the trailers, and there is like people like working on her in a lab, and I assume that, and also there's like a set picture out there that's probably a flashback to her and whatnot.
All right, Tamara and whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, we cut the first episode. It's just really not too much besides see 10 minutes of Starfire, a minute actually of Beast Boy.
Well, so those 10 minutes legitimately gave me a headache.
Well, that's why I said it confused me.
No, and not in a confusing sense, like an actual physical headache because the way it looked.
Oh, I don't know. I guess it didn't.
There's, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but like she's in the hotel, right? She's talking to the person, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you have the whole entire top floor." That entire scene is blue, like most of the show.
Is Raven's hair blue or purple? I can't tell because it could be purple, but it was blue because of the filter. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's my point. Yeah,
like it's like that filter doesn't work with her character, like the colors they have, because it makes her dress kind of glow, and her hair's a weird color.
And coming out of season 3 of Daredevil, where I mean, I'm sure there's a filter on there in terms of coloring, but it's like it doesn't.
I don't know.
turn purple
I don't.
into blue. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just I feel like they could have gone away with making it darker, just and you don't need that weird little filter because I noticed it more this episode than last episode. I don't know why.
See, I was the opposite. I didn't notice it as much this episode, but last episode it was like changing every scene.
Yeah,
So like, it's just like my head.
because it is dark purple. Chest saying dark purple.
I think her hair's actually more of a pink color. If you put the blue over it, it then takes on the blue and goes purple.
Who knows, to be honest? But yeah. So out of season one, we really just got into out of like the first two episodes, we really just got into know a little bit more about Grayson, and apparently the reason he left was because he was starting to be more like Bruce, and he was starting to be a little bit more psychotic in a sense. And
Right.
I don't get it.
You don't get it?
Is it just me? But when he was fighting with Hawk and Dove in the very beginning, he was doing kind of similar thing. I mean, maybe he wasn't
He's a
like
hypocrite.
throwing. No, but I mean, maybe he would. See, that's the thing. I'm curious as to because he was talking to Raven, and I thought that was an interesting part. Where in the first episode, it didn't seem like he wanted to do it, but it was like this. It was like a drug, you know, and he tried to stay away from it. And I wish they would do a better explanation of showing that he's trying to stay away from it, but darkness sometimes gets to him, you know.
Yeah.
So,
See, like that could work.
yeah,
in,
but
in what
they're
they've
not,
done. But the fact, like,
they're not doing
you know,
a good job of showing it, to be honest.
you know, I don't know if you noticed it, but they actually changed that opening fight from episode one. That was all in the trailers where he says "fuck Batman," and everyone's like, "Oh my god, he kills." Like they haven't actually got the scene or the shot where he steps on the guy's neck or his jaw and breaks it.
Okay, I don't really care about that. But
I know, but it's kind of like it feels like they've changed it because of what people are saying.
that's
But
fine. Like that's
I mean,
isn't that what you're
it's
supposed to do?
it feels kind of underhanded because like, oh no, he doesn't kill. He doesn't kill. Like,
Well,
it's
I
like,
mean, you're
but
supposed
then
to.
But then their actors say they do kill, and his entire character is, oh no, I don't want to be this, but I will not do anything to change. And he stabs a guy in the neck with a gun slide, and then he throws his own emblem into a dude's eye in the next episode. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing?
I thought that was so like what like so the funniest the
so
funniest thing was in episode 2 every time a character had a reaction, specifically Hawk and Dove, I had the same reaction because like when Robin did all that, I said Jesus, and then Doc said Jesus, and then when the detective lady said what the F, like I literally said what the F too, like a second right beside, and then when Hawk would say so, I don't know, it was just the weirdest thing where I had the same reaction as them, so it felt like a weird thing where it was real.
It feels slightly self-aware.
Yeah, like it's like yes, whether it's real or self or whatever, it just felt like this. It was just funny to me. I was like, "Wow, we're having like the same reaction to this. This is crazy." But I wanted to know how much like did you like Hawk and Dove? Because I actually really liked it. I know it was a long little like prelude to like the logo intro, but 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was. Nice.
But I enjoyed the little story. I thought they were some of the better acting so far. Besides,
I'm gonna say right now, they're the most interesting characters in this show.
Yeah, because they're like one last job, and of course it's never one last job, right? You never get away with the one last job.
So everyone else, there's nothing to chew on for those characters whatsoever.
So yeah, and I get the point where you're saying with Minka Kelly, like being a little whispering, like, "What do you mean you've changed, Dick? What do you mean?" Like I get it.
It was just so it didn't seem to fit with everything. I mean, if that's how she talks normally, then she can't help that. It's fine. But for the most part, it's just like, can we like it's acting? Like, can you change how you speak a little bit just to fit everything? But chat, there was a cliffhanger. Oh yeah. The producers actually have said that there's nothing wrong with her, so there's no tension in that scene whatsoever. Plus, there was no way they were ever gonna kill off Dove. Like, there's no way. I don't know. They were definitely kind of the only characters in this show. At least the most consistent ones. Like as I just said, like Robin. His entire thing is fuck Batman, but then he's doing the exact same thing. Raven sought out Dick Grayson, and he's just, she's being a bit of a dick to him. That's a very unintentional pun. and I don't know. I kind of need to see more Starfire. Kind of need to actually see Beast Boy do something apart from have the worst changing scene I think I've ever seen. Why they ever thought his nose should have been front and center in that camera shot, do not know. Would I like a Hawk and Dove show, chat? I probably. I'd be interested to see more of them. Especially at this point, only actual characters in the show, but who knows? It feels weird that they're not actually giving them a show, especially since that Doom Patrol is in an episode and then they're coming out and having a Doom Patrol show. But oh well, maybe like next year when they actually decide to film more things because nothing else is coming. There'll be an episode 10. I think they're doing their origin in episode 10. That's weird. They're going to do the original. Oh, they're going to see if they actually explore the brother in episode 10. That'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
Hey, brother, huh?
Episode 10 is going to be like apparently it's going to be a Hawk and Dove origin. So it's going to be the brothers instead of.
Wait, I gotta for some because it's on. See, I gotta click on Titans because it has like the name of the episodes on IMDb.
Yeah, so, that's what chat's saying.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. Oh wait, it did. It had Jason Todd on here somewhere. Oh, it had it on my app. That's what it was. Okay.
So Jason Todd's in a episode. I know that.
Yeah. Cool. We're pretty much gonna round up Titans talk right now. So far, for you, Ray, I like it. But
so far, it's not. It's not the worst thing I've seen.
Yeah, but it's not
ever.
It's okay.
It's not good either. At the minute it's just kind of existing, and it goes back to the whole. This should have just dropped all at once, or at least maybe do a Runaways and drop the first 3 episodes.
Here it goes. Episode 3 is Origins. Episode 4 Doom Patrol. Episode 5 Together. 6 is Jason Todd. 7 The Asylum. 8 Donald Troy. 9 Hank and Dawn. 10 Coriander. That's Starfire. 11 Dick Grayson. 12 Raven. I love that they just name the title episode's characters. But yeah, I mean, I'd agree. As someone who loves DC, and I was really looking forward to the show. It hasn't necessarily met my expectations. I thought it would be a lot better, but I should have known based on the trailers. But it's okay. Like I wouldn't mind rewatching this. Like when it's done, it's like can I rewatch it?
At this point, I'm honestly considering when it's all said and done, because it's not going to be on Netflix for the rest of the world until the season's done. Yeah. So I'm honestly considering just I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Really, it's not on week to week on Netflix.
It's not week to week now. So screw the rest of it. So I'll watch it week to week still. I might give it another once over when it's all together to see if it flows and actually feels better. But
I don't know. I think if I had to compare between this and Krypton, because there's just really I enjoy the action in this show, and kind of I just like seeing my characters kick butt, if you know what I mean.
Chat, thank you. That opening scene in episode 2 where Dove's fighting and they have that We're the Kids in America cover. That was horrific.
That was great. I thought that was great.
I have never heard a worse cover.
I thought that was great. I loved it.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It felt a bit Snyderish.
I don't know if it was or wasn't. I loved it. That was a part I really loved. This episode made me like Titans a little bit more, mostly because introducing Hawk and Dove gave kind of Dick Grayson more of a backstory, and of course introducing more characters that have better actors always helps. So I would say episode 2 definitely helped me like the show more, because episode 1 was kind of episode 2 okay, and maybe it picks up, right? Maybe next episode 3 I'm like, all right, this is starting to get better. Episode 4 is 5, it's, whoa, what? The story's cool.
I'm gonna say right now, if this doesn't pick up, I'm ready for Jeff Johns to never write a show or movie again.
Yeah, because that's kind of weird. Like, come on, Jeff. You should. You
It's
should
like you stick to comics or you stick to producing and guidance on these things. You
I,
do not
I
write.
did tell you that not every comic writer can be a script writer, and you say like, but comics are just scripts.
I mean, to be fair, I was expecting more of a "I will not take Jeff Johns" slander as a response to that.
Nah, like I think Jeff can do really no wrong, even if he does wrong.
But
I think he's
this,
our little darling.
like this, to be honest, I'm worried for that Green Lantern script now
See, I'm not.
because this isn't great. This feels very amateurish, but
I'm not, and I'm sure he probably is an amateur screenwriter, right? And I'm not, this is all him. I mean, it's not all him, but I'm gonna put this as him. He is the quarterback of this, of so far of DC, what DC's doing. So you kind of have to.
but as I
on
say,
him.
like I'm not like I'm just saying if this doesn't actually pick up, the next how many episodes is this? Is it 10 completely?
Something like that. Yeah.
But, if the next 7 or 8 are fantastic, I'll be like, cool, Jeff, stay on it. Just got to sort your starts out, but.
Yeah, but it's all
right
like
now?
I said. He is the quarterback now, right? So he's gonna take the blame, and he's also gonna take the praise. Well, what the new DC is. So like, if you dislike Titans, but you like Aquaman and Shazam, he's gonna get praise, and he's also gonna get hate. So, and that's just how it is. You're not always gonna be perfect. Even some MCU movies are not perfect, right? So.
Oh, nothing's perfect.
Yeah, so that he's gonna have to take some blame. He's not gonna be able to
I mean,
hit
he
100.
wrote the entire season. He's taking all the blame.
Well, no, I'm sure he co-wrote with other people, right? Because he co-wrote
Even
with Akiva Goes. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't take any of the blame. Like, oh, well, he didn't write it all. Even if he did or didn't, he did work on it primarily as just being one of his new things. So he is gonna take either blame or praise. And
who's writing Doom Patrol?
Don't know actually.
Because if it's Jeff Johns,
Gotta look into that. Well, because I think he's getting somebody else. So it's him and Akiva Goldsman who are writing this, and then it's him and somebody else who's writing that. I think it's one of those things where he's not necessarily writing everything himself, but he's co-writing with other people.
Yeah,
and then that's a smart thing to do because. I mean, maybe it isn't. Maybe without Akiva Goldsman, this is better. Who knows? But I think it's a smart thing to do because he is technically an amateur screenwriter, right? He doesn't have that much experience in TV or film in terms of writing or show running and stuff like that. So I think surrounding himself with people who do is probably the best idea. I don't know who's doing.
I mean, sure, it's I wouldn't not surround myself with stuff like that or people like that. So,
okay. So now we're gonna get over that. We're now gonna get into Daredevil season 3, and kind of it's gonna be all over the place, but because there's just so much to talk about, but we're just kind of gonna get into it. Where would you rank it between the 3 seasons?
The
3 seasons
between the 3 Daredevil seasons, it's easily top. Easily.
Wait, what? Say it.
It's easily the top one.
You think so?
3, 1, 2, hands down. That is factual opinion.
To me, it's like really that and one can be mixed round.
I'd have to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I watch season 1 again, if that would change, but as it stands right now, from what I remember, it's 3, 1, 2.
I think we all forget how good season 1 is.
Mm.
And
this was like it kind of went back to that season 1 because there was just there was 2 villains this time around, but they were together. It wasn't like season 2 where it's, we're going to do first half one villain, second half
it
another.
was kind of like they weren't like really together and they didn't have any interconnecting story besides at the very end. In the words of I'll see you again.
Yeah, in the words of Norman Osborn, they went back to formula.
Yeah, and I actually looked it up on Twitter, and a lot of people were saying like, "Whoa, Fisk, Trump-esque." They didn't hit you hard on the nose with it.
Like, that's kind of the Kingpin.
Yeah, the best thing was that they didn't hit you hard on the nose like a lot of other TV shows nowadays that would do it.
It didn't feel shoehorned in. It was definitely this is in character. This is what he does.
I thought he was going to run for mayor for some reason.
I was expecting it, to be honest.
Because towards the end they're saying, a big announcement coming and Fisk and he's gonna go in front of the press or something like that. And I was like, he's gonna go for mayor. It's and kind of like that would be a weird thing where if season 3 ended with him winning as mayor, and Daredevil not being able to do anything, or if he gets ousted, because that would be a weird. Maybe that would be too much, right?
I mean, Daredevil got ousted. Like, who didn't know Matt Murdock was Daredevil by the end of the?
I mean, clearly
everyone,
the newspaper
knew.
guy, right?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he'll know. Like, everyone knows at this point. It's just like, oh, I'm Matt Murdock. Oh, that's Matt Murdock.
I mean, clearly when he's a lawyer fighting that way in the prison.
Yeah.
So okay.
I mean, to be fair, like, the whole subject thing of Dex was being Daredevil, and there's two running around. You kind of have to prove that it's not the real Devil Daredevil at one point. But.
Yeah, because one of my favorite parts was when he actually showed Nadeem like he was Daredevil, and had like such a drop to it, like the sound, like in the background. I was like, whoa, he actually did that. Like, what? But yeah, so in terms of seasons, you say 3, 1, 2. It's hard. I might agree with you. I think some people just underrate season 1 as we go forward because.
I don't think people do underrate season 1.
I think compared to season, like, because season 1 and 3 are so great, it's like hard to underrate them because we all love them. But it's like one of those things. I think we just forget of how powerful it was of teasing Fisk until we actually see him or meet him and stuff like that. You know, it was one of those crazy things. But I mean, I don't know what else to kind of say besides kind of go into our favorite moments. And
hands down, my favorite moment, and if you haven't seen it, you might want to go away now. It's when that final confrontation between.
Oh, you like the 3-way?
Between, I like that fight, but that final confrontation between Matt and Fisk.
Oh yeah,
where Matt is struggling. It's like, I have to kill him, but I can't. That's not who I am. And he has that massive, that little speech. Oh.
Yeah, and Charlie Cox is so great at that. Right? He's so perfect at that. Yeah. I thought it was great too. He's like, I'm not gonna let you win. Like the way he's yelling and he's kind of like going back and forth because he just got beat up badly. And Bullseye, of course, is over there just back. Oh gosh!
Oh, I felt that. I had to pause the episode. I was like, I need to walk somewhere.
Me too. Like, but I don't know if you noticed this or if I noticed it. I don't think anything wrong with it. I just noticed it, and when he takes off the mask to talk to Kingpin and say like, you won't change me or something like that. He just takes off his mask for like a minute, right, or less than a minute. I thought there could have been more of a like crescendo with the music in the back or a drop.
No, the way they did it was.
It just was kind of in because I think when he did it with Nadeem, it was there. If I recall, there was like a crescendo there, and then it kind of ended in a cliffhanger. But I thought there could have been like.
I think we just like how raw that moment was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah,
it's so spur of the moment. He didn't plan on doing that. I think built like a crescendo moment for it.
Yeah, so that's exactly my own argument to that. Yeah,
like, especially when Fisk already knew he was Matt Murdock, so it's like there's no need to like actually build up to it.
If
like,
he didn't, there would be. I think there. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right on that. It's the fact that he knew kind of already that it didn't. Make it such a big deal. It's kind of, I mean, it was a big deal, but there was no crescendo there with the music in the back. And I'm not saying I hate it. I'm not even nitpicking it. I was just curious as would a crescendo work just as good there? And probably not because he did know he was Daredevil. Yeah.
I honestly don't think those like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think you could change. I think if you changed anything, even the smallest thing, it wouldn't be as good. I think it's impossible to make it better.
I mean, yeah, you're probably right. So yeah, I guess let's just talk about that triple threat at the very end, though, since we're kind of on that, and just that there was kind of like the threat of Vanessa being there. There's just so much going on and I loved it.
Yeah.
There was this I guess because what was it? I think Bullseye saw Vanessa, right? And then he tried to throw one of the things at her, and then that's when the Daredevil just pops out and like stops it, and then just starts fighting and whatnot. And there's just that moment I thought he was actually gonna kill Kingpin.
Same.
I thought he was,
with the way Matt was the entire season and how conflicted he was. I was like, I'm expecting. Snap.
So in the end, what really changed his mind? Is it just that the fact that he figured out that Kingpin wants Daredevil to kill him. That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's one of the situations where like you think you win by doing it this way, but you don't.
Yeah.
Like he just realized, like I think it's like Vanessa, like he saw that and it's like that's the way you beat him. And in that moment he figured that out. So it's like he has that conflict, and then it's like, oh shit.
I mean, it's kind of, we've seen this with our superheroes, whether it be Joker and Batman in Dark Knight, right? It's like he tried to beat him by making him go against what he was all about in that series. I'm sure we've seen it with Superman as well as certain characters. There's always these moments, and I always think they're pretty great, when you figure out that the only way the villain wins is if he lets the hero kill him, and it breeds out this rawness into it, and especially in Daredevil, that the way the whole season was going, I just thought it was gonna go that way, but it just surprised me, like, whoa. But yeah, okay, so yeah, going into the fight, the best part was not best part, the funniest part was when Bullseye was just throwing stuff, and Matt was like, you know what, I got nunchucks now. Can't get me.
They were from the light, weren't they? That little chandelier. And he just pulled. Was that where he got them from?
No. What Bullseye was throwing? I thought he was just throwing.
No, what the batons.
Yes, it was the chandelier.
It's from the chandelier. Yeah.
That's what I was very interested curious as to why they didn't break when something hit them. Because I was like, it seems like something would break pretty easy.
I mean, apparently they're like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's kind of deflecting.
Yeah.
I guess we could go with that, but yeah. I mean, I don't just. The way that was just a great way to end it all, coming from the fight within the little reception area all the way to the penthouse suite, just all around. It really blew my mind of how great this show adapts a comic, where it's not too out there, but it's just perfect. Of like,
there wasn't a lot of like. I think for the most part it was based on Born Again. I don't think there was a lot of Born Again stuff in
But I guess not like Born Again. I mean in terms of just an overall, like this was a comic. Yeah. Like this is a comic show.
Yeah, it very much felt like a Daredevil. Like,
yeah.
Well, not an issue, like an arc of Daredevil. Yeah.
And I always wonder, like, how can his powers help him in a fight? I don't think they can, right? Unless it's just kind of like
he can't do like he couldn't do an Avengers fight.
Yeah.
Like there's no way because everything he wouldn't be able to
combat.
Like there's too many sounds and
But he's also just like a recon guy. It's kind of like he would be with the Avengers, right? Wouldn't he just be a recon guy?
I mean, maybe.
I'm sure he could fight, but
I mean he can fight, but he's not. An explosion goes off. No, Daredevil's out. No.
You think so? You don't think a building did just fall on him?
Let's go back to arguably like the best one shot ever made.
Which one?
That's the 20 minutes long.
Oh, the prison
scene.
I was gonna say that was my favorite part actually.
Yeah, like that's crazy. The dude gets tired. Like he's always tired in these series. So what is he gonna do?
But that also, I want to say, happened around episode 4, and in episode he was still kind of recovering from the building being dropped on him. So I would say
when he unblocks his nose. Yeah, disgusting.
Yeah,
disgusting.
I mean, I would say throughout the whole episode, the season, he was never 100%, right? He was always fighting on low kind of stamina and kind of his powers going in and out, and just him not believing in himself, and he was never 100%. I want to say, it was kind of evident when he got his butt beat or butt kicked in episode I think 6, where Bullseye comes in dressed as that, and
yeah, that's 6, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, with the prison scene, man, 20 minutes long, and it worked. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's people talking, like, people in chat right now saying there's, the obvious switches. I did not notice it.
Yeah, I did not notice it either. Maybe it's because I was really engulfed in the scene. Yeah. So it was just hard for me to notice switches between the actor and the stunt actor. But shout out to both of them, because that was just an overall experience, I want to say. And yeah, just like Did he? So I wanted to ask you, did he get hit with the syringe or no? You think he barely blocked it? Because I thought he barely got hit with it.
I thought he did get hit with it.
And see, that was my
Because
reasoning as to why he got tired.
Yeah, I remember sitting there watching, wondering when he's going to get like knocked out.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
When's it going to take effect? But I suppose in that situation, adrenaline can kind of override.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like I assume he didn't get a lot in like injected, if anything. Yeah. So like the adrenaline all kicking in would probably actually cancel it out. But...
one of the things I always made fun of this season, in a good way, was how many people going like, I did not know a lawyer could do that. You fight good for a lawyer. Like, I just love that. I don't know why. Yeah.
When like Kingpin's finding out, it's like, how can a blind man fight like that?
Yeah, it's just such a comic theme that I just loved. And of course, the other one would be when somebody would say hello to Kingpin, and when I was in prison, he'd go on little monologues every time somebody says hello or you get the phone call. So
I mean, that's just this version of Fisk, though, isn't it? Like everything he says in the monologue.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Just goes on. It's fantastic. No, I need D'Onofrio in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, so because he definitely hit the quipping of Tom Holland. That would be great.
Yeah. So I know, like people like say that the tones wouldn't work. Like one's far.
I think they can always
heavy
work.
For it. I think you could absolutely make it work, and the fact that they're so different would make it work.
Yeah, I think personally they can always work. I just think it just takes the right person to figure it out. But I
also,
think they can always
D'Onofrio is huge in this.
Yeah, bro. Like
the way he lifts up that weight, and you just have that shot of his arms and his face. Like, Christ, man, like.
Yeah,
slow down.
This guy's strong, smart. It's almost the perfect villain. He's unbeatable, but somehow they beat him because it takes a dead man to beat him still.
Because love is the only prison you can't escape from.
He told us the whole season, right? And nobody saw it. Everybody's like, whoa, I didn't see that. He told us the whole season, man. But it's one of those things where, like, that's great writing, I think. In terms of foreshadowing, like, exactly knew what was coming and stuff like that. But
also, I really like the callbacks to. I know that he eventually got the rabbit in a snowstorm painting, but the fact that he constantly was looking at blank walls, and it's just the entire shot was just a callback to that first shot where he sees that.
Yeah, there was that one thing where I didn't remember where the painting comes from, and you had to like kind of explain it. And I was like, oh, so it was her favorite painting? Is that why?
Yeah, because it wasn't that how they met.
I always thought it was because like. When he killed
that's the painting that they met over.
I thought it was when he killed his father, he started looking at like a white blank wall, and he just started like that was his thing. Like he was scarred by that, and he just had to keep looking at blank walls.
I mean, that might be why he looks at it like that. But the Vanessa and the painting, they met over that. I'm certain of anyway.
Yeah. Oh god, I felt bad for that lady. The old lady who had the painting, and she was giving this whole speech about like you're a wolf and you're just gonna keep taking, and there was almost a point where he's like, but I don't want to be that, but it's kind of like he is, even though he doesn't want to,
Yeah. Chat says you're right. I assume they're saying that's it, Joe, for the whole 20
the wall thing. Yeah, because I just assumed I'm just kind of going off memory based off season 1, but yeah, this whole season was just a bunch of people thinking they could be something else, but they can't. They are who they are, right?
Yeah.
And they are who they are. And I think Daredevil even says this to his mom at some point, like to Maggie, which to me was a shocker because I don't know the Born Again story, so I don't know. If that's
speaking of show, have you seen that tweet going around?
What tweet?
Someone's like, there's definitely some sexual chemistry between Maggie and Matt. Like, wow. By the end of the season, they'll be together, and people are like, that's not gonna age well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like,
that's in the comic.
Yeah, his mom.
Okay, so I don't know the comic all that well, so that was a surprise to me. I honestly did not. I'm
certain we went over that from the end of.
Listen, man, you know my superpower. I like to forget things, so things are surprise to me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then say that I forget a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's my.
How
superpower.
Could I forget that one? Because my memory's like a sieve.
But yeah, just him when those conversations between both of them, and kind of like we are just who we are. Like, remember he told her like, what if you thought you had like a sign that this was the thing you wanted to be, and that God had a plan for you to be this thing, but then you couldn't do it anymore, right? And you try to do other things, but you can't. It's just like maybe that wasn't like your thing, you know. It's just one of those things of you try to do other things, but you can't. It's just you. Yeah. It's just you, because you're always gonna go back to it, and that's also with Daredevil, right? Where he's trying to be the killer, but he's not. He's not.
He's not trying to be a killer.
Well, no, but he's trying to kill Fisk, but that's just not him.
Oh yeah.
That's just not him.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And he the whole season is just like little, like the angel and the devil just talking to him, like kill or don't kill and stuff like that. Yeah. So I loved this season. This season just has so much into it that you could go on for hours, in my opinion. But we're not gonna go on for hours.
Well. No, just quickly, because we haven't actually mentioned... Well, we've mentioned Bullseye. We've never actually gone into his character.
I thought he was good. I thought he was...
Yeah? Just good?
Yeah, because, I mean, I didn't think it was funny, but I thought this would be something other people would make fun of, was that he had to have everything perfect.
See, I don't know if that's in the comics or not.
No, but, like, Bullseye, perfect. Get it? Like, that's just something, like, some people make, like, we were talking about Titans earlier, right? Hawk and Dove, they have doves in the top, get it?
Yeah. I think it's because it's not in your face.
It kind of, I mean...
Like, they never really made a point of it. It's like, it's not like this entire screen is just a dove and a
I mean, they're both, to me, they're both just that thing of, like, it just comes with the territory of being a comic character.
I mean, yeah, it does.
I think with any show or movie, these kind of things are just going to come along with these characters because of it is based off comics. And Bullseye, everything has to be perfect to him. Dove, she loves birds. I don't know. But just the way when he would, like... it was subtle because he closed the door, the painting would move, and he had to come back and fix it. Like, yeah. And then that's... In a way, it was there mostly to kind of give you a level as to where Bullseye was, because when he started throwing like knives at it, that's when when everything was broken and like not perfect. That's when
I like that crazy. I don't know. This is just how I remember it, but like from when he first starts throwing stuff, it progressively gets more dangerous. Like what he's throwing.
Probably.
Like first, he's like throwing a stapler. And then at the end, he's just throwing massive shards of glass everywhere. I
think he was throwing like knives and a fork and a spoon at Fisk.
Yeah. Sure, the dude literally throws anything.
Yeah, and I was like, that's
It just seemed to progressively get like more dangerous as like he got more unhinged.
Yeah, and you know what though? It reminded me of other things, but I just can't remember exactly. It might have been Avatar, probably like The Last Airbender. But of those moments in episode 6 when they're fighting the bulletin and he's throwing stuff and it's like Daredevil can't react to it as fast because it's like in the air and it's it's just super quick the way he does it too and perfect.
Well, was that before or after he cleaned out his like sinuses?
That was after. Because sinuses was like episode like 2 or 3 or something like that.
So I can't remember which. Like I individual episodes I couldn't tell you what happens where. I just know things kind of happen maybe around the middle.
Yeah, but overall, I liked Bullseye. I mean, of course, I was sad that they didn't say Bullseye at any time.
I mean, we got the Bullseye in the eye. I don't think we needed him to actually say Bullseye.
I just thought Kingpin was gonna get Fisk was gonna give him a code name.
I mean, maybe, but I think that's a bit too cheesy for this kind of show.
Or there's that file he reads, right, about him as a kid and everything that happened with the therapist, and I thought it was gonna be like file like under Bullseye or something like that. See,
I think that might have been a bit distracting.
Maybe, but that's if you don't put it in the face, maybe we don't. It isn't as much. I don't know. I just thought there'd be something to Bullseye. There's really nothing, which. I mean, I wasn't too disappointed, but I was like, "Oh man, that would have been cool to hear like someone say Bullseye." But I get it. Yeah, there's a Bullseye.
Let's be honest. He's coming back. No doubt he's going to come back next season.
Yeah. If there's a next season, which I hope.
But look, Netflix aren't going to cancel this.
Yeah, it's their best show.
If there's one they're not going to cancel, it's this. Jessica Jones is only going to get season 3 because it's filming. Punisher, it's probably going to get a season 3. It might not. We don't know at this point. But Daredevil, if any one of them is safe, it's Daredevil.
So wait, so Marcy, I'm looking at that. Marcy was in Defenders? I don't remember her in Defenders.
Which one was Marcy?
The Foggy's girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I definitely don't remember her in Defenders.
I've seen a lot of people be like, have we met his girlriend before?
Yeah,
But
I didn't think it was the same actress. I just didn't think it was the same actress. Like I knew we met her his girlfriend before, but
it might be different.
No, it's the same. It's definitely the same, but it's just she changed over the couple years.
But that's just a testament to how forgettable Defenders is.
That's true. That too.
You can't even remember. Not that I don't think she was in it a lot, but you know. Yeah.
So I don't know how much more you wanted to go into Bullseye, because he was great. I thought the guy they got was pretty great in the way he did it.
It's like I'm not the biggest like Daredevil reader in the comics. I kind of struggle to read that kind of a street level character.
Yeah.
Because I kind of get bored of it quickly, but they definitely elevated Bullseye. They've actually given the character some depth.
And that's I've always kind of said this where I don't think any character is unadaptable in that sense. Like, oh, you can't adapt him. There's not too much to him. I think, like, even we were talking about Punisher before the show started. I just think it takes the right person to do it, and clearly for like anybody,
they definitely got like the best actor for it.
Yeah, but not even just actor, but in terms of the character being written. Because Bullseye, maybe not the most in-depth character out of the comics, but
he's very much Daredevil's Joker.
Yeah, and
that's kind of all he's ever really been. Like, he's a terrifying villain, and they get the terrifying part of him in this.
100%.
But it's like Daredevil, no, not Daredevil. Like, Bullseye's actually a person.
So that's why I'm saying like it's almost. When somebody says like, "Oh, see, there's no way they could have done a lot with this character because there's just not too much to it." Well, if there's the person was thinking the right way or maybe creatively, you can make any character have more depth. You just got to be a little bit more creative.
No, because I don't know if I'm wrong saying this. I think I'm right. The only thing Bullseye has ever really done is kill Elektra.
Yeah.
No, there's not much more to him than that. And apart, I throw things. Right.
And there's that like gradual turn throughout the whole season with Bullseye I really liked. And I enjoyed kind of, I mean, I didn't enjoy it because it was really creepy, but like the Julie kind of relationship and then we got her as a bot. Oh my God. It's creepy.
Chat saying Ben Poindexter is one of the fake identities. Isn't that his actual name in the 1610 or the Ultimates universe? I'm certain his actual name is Ben Poindexter in that. I could be wrong. But...
That's what I said, because Poindexter is such an out there name.
I mean, it's not a name at all, is it? Let's be honest. It's like, oh, Poindexter.
I mean, it is a name because that there's a basketball player named Poindexter, like his last name.
Is there actually?
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
He plays for my team.
That's unfortunate.
That's how I know, like, it's an actual name. I think there's one basketball player who has the last name of it, and there's one guy who has the first name of it, which is so weird. Imagine having your first name Poindexter, but I don't want to throw shade or anything like that.
Is he really boring, like person?
I mean, I don't think so. Like they did one interview with him, and he seemed alright. Like maybe why is that the point? Is that what the point you're trying to get at?
The definition of Poindexter is a boringly studious or socially inept person. So I was just kind of like, maybe, is this going to be a spot-on name for him, or is it not?
Maybe. Yeah. So that's kind of the Bullseye talk, I guess. One thing I wanted to bring up to you, I don't know how you felt about this, but I really love when this happens with characters is when they finally have like a significant other that helps, like puts them up. You know what I'm saying? Like when Marcy was helping Foggy, it's like instead of just being there or kind of just like I'm the girlfriend. She actually did stuff, like gave him ideas and like pushed him in the right direction.
Yeah, she did a little bit, yeah.
You know, nice. And I enjoy it when stuff like that happens because a lot of times writers will write a significant other and just kind of have them there being a significant other.
Yeah.
But there's so much more they can do.
It's just the girlfriend role.
Yeah, and there's so much, and whether it be boyfriend or girlfriend doesn't even matter because a lot of times writers just want them to have a boyfriend or girlfriend just for the sake of having a boyfriend or girlfriend, but There's a point in giving somebody a significant other and not giving somebody a significant other. I mean, look at we saw with Karen, right? She didn't really have somebody. Let's talk about the flashback, which I guess we'll get to in a minute. But with Foggy,
I didn't need that flashback.
Yeah, me either. I want to say straight up, I did think it was funny that when they were together and they were shooting or something like that, they did have like an old rock song, Headstrong. I don't know if you know that song by Trap.
Yeah.
They're like, headstrong, keep on anyone.
Just like, I can't. Like, what exactly was the point of that flashback?
I guess to like give more. I mean,
to develop character.
So my understanding of this so far is that they just had an extra episode. Like they only needed 12 episodes for it, and they had an extra one. They're like, we might as well give backstory to Karen, right?
I mean, sure.
It's just one of those things like. It seemed like you didn't need that, right? It could have been just 12 episodes, but maybe Netflix it has to be 13.
Yeah,
okay.
I might have thought differently about it if it happened earlier on. But it happened, episode 9, this is the only episode that I know specifically. Episode 9 ends with Matt in Fisk's hotel, and he's talking to the secretary or the security guard.
No, that little... I thought it was the chick who's at the computer, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and she's like, "No, he's gonna come any second. Like, you've got 5 seconds to think of."
Yeah, it was like a weird.
And then the episode ends there, and then it starts the next episode with a Karen flashback. And I'm like, no, I want the resolution of that scene.
So, chat saying, chat, we get this. That of course it was kind of to explain the very beginning when she's talking to the daughter of the father that was beaten up. That. Everybody thought she killed her brother. I get it. I still don't think you needed it, even though they had that in the beginning. I thought that just could have worked out good on its own, just by her. I thought it worked out well.
It ruined the flow. No, it didn't ruin it. It made a little bump in the flow of the back half of the season.
It's like you're like it's like a song, and it's just like okay, weird little verse, but okay, and then here's the hook. Here's the I get it, right? And my understanding is just that they had an extra episode, and they're like, we might as well. Who are we going to give the extra episode to? I mean, I think season 2 might have been Foggy. There might have been a Foggy flashback in season 2, or
it definitely felt like, we're half an episode short. What can we do?
Because look, at the same time, there's no. I mean, maybe there wasn't a Foggy flashback, but we didn't. If there wasn't, there's still a lot to Foggy. His parents, his brother. I forgot. I didn't even know he had a brother.
I would have much rather have had that flashback not be for Karen, but be for Foggy and his brother.
I just would have rather not had a flashback, but
I mean, yeah, but if you're gonna you're obviously gonna have to have one. Cause...
I think the writers' room really cares about Karen and what she offers to the scene. I don't. I think she's the third character. I think Foggy's the second to Matt.
I mean, she's the third character. That's why it's Murdoch and then Paige is at the end.
Yeah, but that's why. That's why I don't get why she got the flashback and of course Foggy didn't. But I'm just gonna chuck it up to they had an extra episode. And they're like, somebody we haven't really gotten into, Karen. I
like Karen as a character.
She's alright.
Just didn't inherently need
that. She's alright. There's a lot of she looks like she's a drug addict in present day, even though she was in the past. I didn't need her to know she was like a DJ and scamming white kids, like college kids.
I think they tried to make her look like she was on drugs because that's Born Again. The whole thing
you're right,
is
probably.
She's on she sells out Murdoch to Kingpin for drugs.
She kind of. I was about to say she kind of does sell out Murdoch in a way,
Yeah, that is my second favorite moment in the show.
Yeah, when he's like, "Do you know about Matt's secret life?" What?
When she's trying to provoke him and it just completely blows up in her face. The pair of them there were fantastic. It's like, you could have done literally anything else to provoke him. Why did you do that?
There are so many tropes that I love in the season. We kind of wind it down a bit. We could talk about last thing. There's so many tropes that I love. And one that comes to mind, what was it? It's kind of, I guess the episode 6, where you have the hero in civilian clothes, I say, whether it be like a Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, Matt Murdock, and something happens where he has to kind of suit up super quick. I love that kind of stuff. Or even when he's going with the cops.
You don't often see like them actually have to get ready. But you see Matt in this. I like that. And he's
Yeah.
turning. He shuts the lights off, and you see him like take the shirt off. And
Yeah,
everything.
I love stuff like that where they kind of got to instantly get ready, or even stuff in the prison scene where he can't be his superhero self, but he has to still defend himself in that sense, you know, and he has to use his powers, I guess, in a way of fights. I love when the heroes kind of caught off guard in that sense, and you know, it's pretty. I don't know. To me, it's just always interesting when that happens. Like, for example, I guess in The Dark Knight, when somebody's going to kill the guy who's about to oust Batman or something like that, and then he has to drive the car to stop somebody or whatever. Yes. So stuff like that when they're doing like heroes in civilian clothes, they're being heroes. Yeah. I love stuff like that.
They just catch him off guard slightly, even though Daredevil wasn't caught off guard. He didn't have the intention to do that.
I guess the prison one would be more that, or the off guard.
The prison one definitely.
Yeah.
That fight was so good.
There's so many good tropes that I just love about superhero stuff that's in this. I should have wrote them all down because there's just so many of them. One of the things is always like the villain is always one step ahead. I just love that.
Yeah, Kingpin was like worryingly 5 steps in front of everyone.
Yeah.
It's just like, you've been thinking about this for a long time. But...
Yeah. You know what? And let's just put it out there. Daredevil did cops better than Punisher, or the FBI, than Punisher. Because we actually cared about the...
Oh, yeah. Nadeem was fantastic.
Yeah, Nadeem was great. And I was wondering, where is this going to go? But it really had a great resolution of... where we first met his family and like him struggling with money, finances, his sister-in-law with cancer, and all the way to like his dying. It just worked out so well. Like I was like, wow, I did not think I was gonna care this much about this FBI character.
And I really liked that it wasn't a typical thing. Oh, the FBI is just corrupt. You know, it's not by choice, but at the same time, as Matt says, it's like you do anything but. Like you sell your house if you have to. You do this, you do that. You just don't do that. But like the way it's like we kind of don't like we're being bent over a chair here. Like you can't really do anything else.
Another one of like that goes on with that was when the boss lady tells Nadeem like I used to have 2 children. Like just that one line. You only saw one, right, in that one scene.
Yeah.
And then she tells him like I used to have 2. I thought the other one died, but I think she just sent him off with the had to like fake break up with the husband and like divorce so the other one could live with the father and could be alive. So maybe
I
don't know, but I thought that was just little stuff like that gave you more character into them without actually needing to go too much into them. Like even one of the FBI guys, like we don't even say his name and they were calling him by his code name.
I was about to bring that up, actually. What did you think of that? Because that was kind of very on the nose.
I mean, that's comic-y, but
it's just like,
that was in season 1, right? Where you never say Fisk's name. You just never say it. It's like a power move, isn't it? Which is so great. Like it shows you how powerful and threatening Fisk is that nobody dares say his name.
Kind of, it just felt a bit like a bit weird the way it's like
the way they said it.
We use his code name. It's like. You just be like, we just called him Kingpin.
How did they get around it in season 1 then? They just called him Kingpin, right? They never said, well, we call him by his code name. They just said Kingpin.
They just called him Fist, didn't they?
No, I think they never really... Nobody would dare say Fist's name. That was the whole thing.
I can't remember, because it's been years since I watched the first 2 seasons, or season 1. But I don't remember them ever calling him Kingpin before this.
Yeah.
They might have done, but I can't...
I felt like in season 1 they called him Kingpin a couple of times, not too many times, because season 1 still felt not as comic-y compared to this season. And I say comic is not even a bad term. It sounds like
I wasn't taking it as comic.
They never called him Kingpin. Chat says I thought they did. Apparently not.
Because the way they did it, it felt like it was the reveal that he is now the Kingpin.
Oh, maybe, but
that's how I took it. So.
Then in season 1, they just never called his name. They just never called him anything. They just said that man, the man in white, or something like that.
He didn't wear white in the first season.
Oh, the man in black. I don't know, just the man. Like I swear, the whole season 1 was like.
I'm certain they just called him Fist because in season 1 he's kind of hands on a lot, isn't he? He's always going around.
I thought he wasn't as hands-on.
He's not as hands-on now, but in season 1, I think you'll find him
maybe that we could ask for chat. But winding it down.
He goes out to the ducks and like kills the dude in the car, doesn't he? So
Oh yeah, that was one of the freakiest moments. Dude, I swear when the guy he said, "Give me your Jackie," I was like, what is he gonna have? Is he gonna kick him out?
He's gonna kill him with a Jackie.
Dude, there was just so many like jump moments. I was like, oh my god, like the what? I did not expect that. But winding it down. How did? I guess what else? Last thing. What did you want to say about this?
I think we said all there is to say.
Yeah,
really,
I think so too. To be honest,
we kind of started how we should have ended this, like put in the seasons. But
yeah, I mean, it's just how would it go overall in all of them?
All of them.
I guess let's just say top 5. Let's just because there's like more than 5, but let's just say top 5 seasons.
I'd have to think about that one.
See, to me, it's I think
it's definitely top 3.
So to me, it goes. You know what? I'll put Daredevil season 3 as 1. Season 1 as 2 because they're very interchangeable. Jessica Jones season 1 as 3. Daredevil season 2 as 4. Iron Fist season 2 as 5. I really enjoyed Iron Fist season 2.
I did as well.
Yeah, so, top 5. I mean, if anything, I think Punisher could be interchangeable with Iron Fist season 2 for me personally.
Yeah.
Because
chat saying they called him my employer.
That's what they called him. Which made it feel less comic-y, of course, because they said my employer.
You weren't far off though, so
yeah. I just knew the whole first season was like they didn't want to call him. But yeah, so I mean, if you can't do 5, that's fine. If you just know it's top 3,
it's top 3. I'd need to maybe watch it again or actually have a real think about what my top 5 is.
I think it's just prevalent that when you have a good actor. 2 good actors as the villain and the hero, it trumps everything else, right? It's like we took David Tennant and Christian Ritter, like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, or even Mahershala Ali and Kotur, right? Like the first half of season 1 of Luke Cage, like it trumped everything, really. If you could just put that on its own, that's a great season, to be honest. Yeah. So it's just. I think going forward, just get a great actor as your villain that can go with your hero, right? That's what you need.
I mean, like they haven't miscast a villain yet.
I mean, yeah, but the villains haven't been up to par in terms of acting, I guess.
I mean, the only villain I'd say is acting wise is probably what's his face in Nick Cage season 1.
I mean, even in Punishers, I like the guy who plays the villain, but I just, when it comes to Vincent D'Onofrio...
See, I completely forgot Punisher.
So, I was like, there's that, there's the guy from Iron Fist.
I mean, yes, there's definitely, 2 leagues of villains. Like, you got David Tennant, D'Onofrio, and... I'd probably put Bullseye.
Yeah, it's like A and B level type villains, right? Yeah. It's not like they're miscast. I'm not saying they're miscast. I just think... They're not A+ levels compared to D'Onofrio and Tennant.
Not everyone can be a Fisk or Mariah.
I mean, people love Mariah. I hate Mariah. She's so annoying to me. But that's her villain, right? That's a villain.
Yeah.
That's a villain. I gotta hate the villain. It's like one of those things where it's like kind of a good job that they make me hate her. It's not even she's not written well. She's just annoying to me.
Just shows you that they did a good job.
All right. So I guess with that. We went over an hour, but I figured that'd be okay with everybody, enjoying and watching Daredevil over the weekend. They were okay with it going a little bit more than an hour to talk a little bit more. So
I mean, it's only like 5 minutes more.
8 minutes actually. But with that said, next week Titans episode 3. Hopefully it's the CW stuff on my end. I don't know yet. We're not watching The Gifted. Telling you straight up, me and Mitch are not watching The Gifted. I haven't even started it. I think Mitch has started one episode.
No, I'm not bothering.
Okay, there's that. Don't know what other shows besides the CW stuff and Titans.
I mean, to be honest, I think we'll get a decent conversation out of just Titans alone.
I'm sure too, yeah, because I think it'll gradually get better. I personally think.
I'm hoping it does.
I'm hoping it does too, because I really put some stock into this.
It needs to get better.
Because if it doesn't, my Jeff Johns stock is going down. And I might be selling at one point. But shout out to Johns, because apparently somebody told me, probably a week ago or 2, he fixed his website. It changed.
Yeah, that was a Discord.
Yeah, shout out
No,
to Discord.
they've said that it's a. I haven't seen it, so
I haven't
I
seen
can't
it
I
either,
can't
but
speak for
apparently it
it.
did
But
change. So yeah, with that, everybody go watch The Good Place because that's one of the funniest TV shows on television, or on Hulu if you're watching Hulu. And we'll see you next time.
toodles.